What exactly happened 6.6 million years ago that forever altered humanity's genetic path? It wasn't a meteor, it wasn't fire or ice. It was a whisper, a mutation, a code, a sequence that appeared in our DNA, without warning, without explanation. Scientists call it the echo sequence. It appears in humans and in primates, but not in anything before them. The exact moment it appears? 6.6 million years ago. The same moment our evolutionary path split from the other great apes. Coincidence? The Sumerians recorded it. Modern geneticists see it, but no one dares acknowledge it. Because if the echo isn't random, then someone, or something, put it there. Imagine that. Imagine we weren't evolved, but engineered. What does that mean for who we really are? Are we just products of biology, or the legacy of a forgotten intelligence? Long before microscopes, the Sumerians carved their warnings into stone. They told of beings not born of earth. They called them the Anunnaki, those who came from the heavens. In clay tablets, they wrote of genetic experiments, hybrid beings, failed prototypes, flesh-shaped like clay. One tablet, nearly erased by time, describes the moment clearly. The gods took the seed of the beast and split it with the spark of the sky. Thus the servant was formed. A primitive way of saying what we now call genetic modification of the Sumerians didn't invent science fiction. They recorded what they saw or what they were told. The symbols they used? Spirals, double helixes, concentric circles centered on a single dot. And now, thousands of years later, we find those same symbols mirrored in our genetic code. But if the Anunnaki created us, why did they abandon us? That question haunts every hidden chamber, every suppressed scroll, every redacted archaeological report. Maybe we were a project, an experiment, a blueprint they left behind. Or maybe we weren't abandoned at all. Maybe they're still watching. Somewhere. Waiting for something to activate. Because what still lives in our genes may not be human at all. The echo sequence doesn't behave like natural DNA. It doesn't degrade, it doesn't drift, it's preserved, almost perfectly. And now it's waking up. In remote populations around the world, researchers are finding sudden shifts in gene expression, changes that can't be explained by diet, environment, or ancestry, changes that match patterns encoded in the echo. The scientific journals won't publish it. The findings are too unstable, too dangerous. But behind closed doors, they talk. They talk about activation windows, time-locked gene triggers, pre-programmed awakening events, and in a leaked memo from a joint NASA-DARPA study, one phrase repeats: echo interface anomaly, origin unknown, non-terrestrial sequence architecture suspected. Non-terrestrial. They know, they just can't say it out loud. Because to admit it would unravel everything. It would mean we are not the authors of our origin. We are the product of someone else's plan. And what is a blueprint, if not a guide to something yet to be built? The ancient texts suggest the Anunnaki never intended to stay. They came, they created, they watched, then they left. But they left markers, coordinates, cycles. Some believe the echo isn't just a genetic remnant, but a countdown, encoded in DNA, written in stars, time to align. In 2020, a quiet observation shook the astronomical world. Object L7X, a long-forgotten celestial body, had altered its trajectory. It was coming closer. Its orbital return, roughly once every 6.6 million years. The timing is impossible to ignore. A cosmic return, a genetic activation. A meeting point between the heavens and our blood. And when the echo fully awakens, what will it do? Will it transform us? Or erase us? Maybe it's a test. Maybe the Anunnaki built us as a signal, a living message that only they could read. And if the signal is activating now, then maybe the readers are on their way. The Sumerians called them gods. But gods don't hide their work in genomes. Engineers do. Bioarchitects from a civilization far older and far more advanced than we dare imagine. Their tools? Not fire and stone, but code, molecular design, time-triggered transformation. And what if we're not the final version? What if we're just phase 1? What comes next? What are we becoming? The more we decode the echo, the less human we begin to seem. So ask yourself, what still lives in your genes? What message waits in silence? And what happens when the blueprint is finally complete? Because the countdown may have already begun. And the Anunnaki may already be on their way back. Subscribe to @Anunnaki Whispers before this truth vanishes. The whispers are growing louder. And time is running out.